All right, guys, we're still back here at MiCHILIgan 2025, and we are here with Yobogear, and we're going to go ahead and talk to them, let them tell us a little bit about their company. So tell us about yourselves and a little bit about your company.
Well, we're Cal and Kristen with Yobogear. Yobo stands for You Ought to Be Outdoors.
Right there, right above our head. You ought to be outdoors.
Yep. And we make hammock stands. We try to make them very lightweight, very strong, very portable, so that they're easy to throw in with your gear, and you never have to stress about whether or not you have trees when you're hammock camping.
So that's true. And so what are some of the pros of having a hammock stand, say, then versus trees? What do you think?
Just like she said, just no stress. It's like, so you go to a new park, a lot of parks don't allow hanging on trees.
True.
So you don't know, you travel all this way and you don't have to worry about it once you get there. I can't use my hammock.
True.
So that's
You do have the mobility to kind of set up wherever you want to. So if you're by a lake, on a beach, up in the mountains, wherever you are, they do have some of the lighter hammock stands here that they could talk to us about and let us know about some of their products. But they're definitely good for backpacking, lightweight. So you're not talking about carrying 20 pounds, but you are carrying some more weight. But leave your chair at home or bring the stand instead. You'll be more comfortable. So what sets you guys apart from other stand companies?
Ours are the lightest, strongest, most compact, and we're really the only ones that engineered a stand with a small pack size in mind. So ours will fit in motorcycle panniers. Our ultralight model weighs 4.5 pounds. Then simplicity, everything's easy to use. Our turtle bug model, it weighs more, but it's still compact, still 18 inches, so you can store it everywhere. Set it up in between 30 seconds and a minute. It takes about a minute and a half to put it away. I mean, that's the main thing that set us apart. All of our stands fit actual full-size hammocks. A lot of other stands out there, they say they fit full-size hammocks, but you have to fold the ends of the hammocks over, so you're essentially turning a good hammock into a 8 or 9 foot long hammock, which is pointless.
Right, not as comfortable.
Yeah.
Exactly. So how did you get started in this business in the first place?
I just love
Here,
sleeping.
you can hang on to that too.
Oh, right on.
You know, especially with trucks going by. You know, we got trucks going by. Go ahead and listen to that, and then we can hear you better.
Yeah, so mainly just camping a lot and sleeping on the ground. It's usually about 3 or 4 days, and you just get more and more beat down. You sleep in a hammock, and it'd be 2 weeks, and you don't even want to go home. You just spry and fresh every morning, just well rested. It's a lot deeper sleep, a lot better sleep for us.
Mm-hmm. So I assume at some point you got to a point where, like, hey, either we can't hang a hammock or we got to go to the ground, or which said, hey, we got to come up with a stand.
Yeah. So, and we're originally from Wyoming, so the trees they're just not there. So that was a necessity. And then once we started doing it, it's kind of neat because typically people are just scattered throughout the forest because you got to find the perfect trees. So now people just make these little communities and they can all hang together. And,
Sure.
And it's just been really neat to see how it all evolved.
Yeah, that is cool. It's kind of like the same thing with people with RVs, and they kind of camp together in a big U shape, some of that. Now instead and it they take up a lot less space than tents do. So when you can kind of get in your shape, and that's true. So how do you come up with like new designs or new ideas?
They're just kind of innate to me. I think of what I want to do, and I just throw it out there, and I really don't think about it that much, and then pop design. It's like kind of like a picture just pops in my head, and I build it, and it works.
So how long do you like work with a prototype to make sure that it's all the geometry is gonna work and stuff like that? With you're trying to get lightweight, but you also don't want a customer like calling you saying, hey, I landed on the ground last night. My stand collapsed. So how long do you work with your prototypes to make sure that they are
It all depends, and then we have some testers and we just give them the stands to use for a year or so usually, and they put it through all the rigmarole and give me their input.
I'd say from the time like the idea pops into his head to the day that it's like launched out in the world, it could be 1 to 2 years.
Okay. So good. That
and
gives it a lot of
yeah.
time out in the field, like you said, with testers to go ahead and make sure that it's, you know, you're not getting a lot of recalls or just
And
issues with
it's
things.
workshop testing first, and then out real world use testing, and we also like to prevent a lot of the horrible emails or phone calls of my stand collapse. We do a lot of education up front. We have copious detailed videos on how to work the stand and what to do and how to troubleshoot. So we have a really high success rate with our stands and a very low failure rate, as long as folks watch the instructional videos.
You do got to set them up correctly. They're very intuitive to set up. They're not difficult to set up, you know, any more than putting a tent up. But same thing, if you put the poles in the wrong place in a tent, it's not going to work either. Same thing if you tighten down some of the tensioners too much, something like that on these, you know, you got to keep the geometry correct on the legs and stuff like that with a lot of things. So, but that's what's the beauty of it, because it is simple, but yet the geometry of it is really what gives it its strength. It's not so much the thickness of the poles, because you're using carbon fiber and they look like 1/2 inch, 5/8 of an inch thick. Something, is that the diameter of those?
Between 3/4 an inch and an eighth.
Hey, get out of here. Exactly. So what's your favorite part of coming to these things?
Just the community, the people. The people are amazing. Without them, I mean, we couldn't have a company, right?
Right, that's true.
And it's and something else we really enjoy is a lot of people are like, we gave up on camping, and then they discover hammocks, and then they discover hammock stands, and so now where they would have just been hanging out at home, now they can go camping with their grandkids and stuff again.
Right.
So all those stories have been really cool.
Sure. How many of these do you do a year? These hangs?
Events? Anywhere from 3 to 8, depending on what we have going on. And I mean, living in Wyoming, we are pretty isolated out there, so anywhere is a long drive, especially coming east of the Mississippi. But we try to get to a lot of them, because it's just that really close connection with our customers.
Exactly. What percentage would you say are, you got any college kids starting to use these things yet? Because there's a lot of kids that, you know, they hang on the campus or whatever in the quad, limited trees. Sometimes these campuses nowadays might not let them, but they'd be really cool if all of a sudden they got like a Yobo stand out there. They're like, look at the cat's meow here.
That's our next goal, is to get more college students into them. College kids are what we call loungers. Like they're not doing the high-tech hammock camping, and so they don't, you know, they're not going to buy a $900 hammock stand just to go throw up on a college campus. So we have a lounger model of a stand that we're going to start pushing, and that'll be like much more.
Yeah, it's around $300.
Yeah.
Okay, so so it's more friendly for their budget, but also they don't need to have something that's extremely lightweight, because they're going out onto a quad or something like that. But they're still going to look cool, because they can set up wherever they want. They could be in the shade, they could be in the sun, wherever they want. And it does. I would tell you guys, the hammock stands give you a lot of freedom that you don't have with the trees. I mean, the hammock camping's great, but then with the stand, it's like takes it to a whole nother level. Like I said, with not just car camping, but backpacking, canoeing, motorcycle, hiking in the mountains, any of that. You can do it all with one of their stands. And again, it's not like you're putting a 20-pound stand in your pack. You all the way down to 4.5 pounds. Now you do got to be a little bit lighter. What's your next model for like a heavier guy like myself? Over 200 pounds.
We have an 8.5 pound
8.5 pounds
that works great. Kayak campers love it because it doesn't throw off the balance of their kayak.
And that's still only 18 inches long then?
Less than that.
Less than
17 inches.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fantastic. So.
And then also all of our segments, we make it so you don't have to, if something happens, you got drunk and did something stupid, every segment's replaceable. So,
okay, so, they do on their site.
You're never out your investment.
Right.
Yeah, you don't have to spend money on a whole new stand.
Exactly. So if you're in the market for a hammock stand, go ahead and check out yobogear.com, and these guys will help you out and set you up with a quality stand, and that you can take anywhere and use in camp, hammock camp anywhere. So, exactly. Really good people too. So we got to meet them this weekend, hang out with them, not just come and look at their equipment, but they were over with everybody hanging and just kind of hanging out with other vendors. Really good people here. So if you're in the market for a stand, check out Yobogear. Thanks for talking to us, guys.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate you.